first sound everyone's gonna hear is me smashing the microphone into my headphones. But here we are. Welcome back to another episode of DrawBomb. I'm your co-host, Ian.
And I'm your co-host, Brandon.
That's right. And let me tell you, it's a new year.
Oh yeah. First show of the year.
It's a new year.
2023.
First show. We are frozen. What a way to start. Oh, and you can see my whole chest. I'm just
You're
ruining
very sensitive
it.
about your chest.
I know, it's so small and tiny. It's not the pectoral musculature of Dwayne, Mr. The Rock, Mr. The Johnson.
Well, I mean that's called going too far, right? Like he doesn't look like a person anymore. He looks like a weird thumb man.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he was like his wrestling days was a good.
Yeah, he
spot
looked
to
like
be
a
in.
human.
He was like huge.
He was big,
He's huge, but he
human
still looks like a human. And now he just looks like a weird, like a fridge that somebody drew a face on.
Yeah, that's true. At some point, like, you got to be pushing the bounds of like what the human body
There should be a limit.
is able to be
Granted,
shaped like.
I think he's fairly successful, so maybe he knows something we don't.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's like the Liver King, and he does a shitload of steroids. Who knows? No, not saying that that's what The Rock does. Please don't come after me. I'm just saying the Liver King does a lot of steroids.
I hope The Rock does steroids. I mean, if you're that gigantic and you're doing it naturally, like...
He found the key. He found the key. But yeah, welcome folks. It's a new year. It's a new day for DrawBomb. It's another Monday.
New year, new us.
That's right. Everyone says that, you know? And do you feel like you're becoming a new you this year? Do you feel like you're doing that?
I mean, there's new stuff happening in my life. Sure. Oh,
I
got a subscription from Lizaizai.
Lizaizai.
Thank you, pal. And also Leviathan Den's here as well. Says ahoy, ahoy to you.
Hello, both of you.
Yeah, welcome to the show. I don't know. There's some new stuff going on in my life. So in some ways, but I don't feel like the month changing from December to January has really much to do with that.
No. But here's
that answers your question.
No, but I will say this to you. Get on board, buddy, with the new year. Because here's the thing.
Start spreading the goddamn new.
It's a collective belief that we all have where we all are just like, the slate's clean. Not like in like the justice system or like the IRS or anything like that.
Not in any way that matters.
No, not in any way that matters. But in a lot of ways, like emotionally, people are just like, it's the new year, you know? So maybe
I think we are simple creatures, and it's nice to have like little patterns that we can like be like, okay, there's a new number, so we can maybe this is a good time to, you know,
maybe I won't be such a piece of shit for 3 days.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat less trash for a minute and I'll get right back to it.
So if you don't, you know, personally latch on to the New Year belief, you're ruining it for everybody. So get on board, bucko. It's a new year.
I think in some ways I subscribe to that, but only because, not because of the New Year thing, but because Thanksgiving and Christmas just ended and I spent 2 months eating like 10,000 calories. So now it's time to be like, maybe we stop doing that, and so I don't die.
Yeah. That
aligns with the new year.
The holidays coming to an end finally for just like a hot second, like all the serious ones. It does bring a sense of like relief, like things are sort of like returning to a slight normal. So I think that also helps a lot with people's like psychology and getting into like the mode of a new year. I think that's a good point that you sort of brought up.
Yeah, I love the holidays, but I also love when they're over.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you can be on vacation for too long and you just like kind of want to sit at your desk at home and
I need a vacation from this vacation.
Oh boy.
Something that someone might say.
Oh, I guarantee you like 8 million white people have said it while wearing like those visor hats, you know?
Yeah, that's what you got.
With like a Wisconsin accent. Oh, I need a vacation from my I can't do a Wisconsin accent, but oh, don't you know?
It's kind of like a Minnesota
yeah.
one.
I need a
Midwest,
vacation, my vacation. Now I'm just going into like weird European of some strange.
Your New Year's resolution was to perfect your Midwest accent.
That's right, eh? Don't you know?
You're going Canadian now.
Gonna go to Fargo, get a car dealer. William H. Macy really pulling the wool over my eyes.
Yeah, that's right. It's a good movie.
It's a great movie. I was actually thinking I wanted to watch it again sometime soon.
Let's do it. That's just the stream tonight. We're just watching Fargo.
Yeah, we're just gonna... Well, I mean, if it's on Watch Party, we could, like, legitimately make that the stream. I mean, it'd be a terrible episode of the show for people to watch on the VODs, but I kind of hope nobody ever watches these VODs to some degree, just because it's...
It would maybe be our most famous episode, or our most popular episode, because...
you get to watch Fargo.
You get to watch Fargo. It's the most entertaining episode there's ever been.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Man, these guys really got a lot more fun when they just started showing, like, blockbuster movies.
Coen Brothers shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
Coen Brothers are better at entertaining than we are, I think.
Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah, they make amazing movies. I mean, don't even get me started. I always go on a rant about what I like about what the Coen Brothers do.
Have we talked about film on the show before?
You know, we don't approach that subject a whole lot. We tend to talk about politics and like the real world.
Yeah, right. Love to talk about that stuff.
Oh yeah, shit's so sick, dude.
So let me flip that question back at you. How do you feel? Do you feel like any kind of thing has changed for you with the new year, or is it just another day?
You know, I'm normally not a very whimsical. I try and be a little whimsical here and there, but I'm normally not a very. I'm a very sort of scientific sort of believer person.
I'm a realist.
I'm a realist to some degrees, so you know, my normal mindset would probably be to be like, this shit's bullshit. Like, what the it's a fucking
It could be
number.
fun to be like, this year's gonna be cool. You know, like
yeah, I like to view it as like the world encouraging me to take a look at my life and what I could be doing to be in a better position, or to be doing more for others. And so then when the new year rolls around, I'm like, all right, let's self-assess. Let's try and use this year as a chance to like really make some shit happen. So
it's nice that there's a straight up like cutoff date so that you can really be a piece of shit for all the rest of December. You're like, better get it out of my system.
Yeah, you know, Jesus was born just now, so I get to fucking be drunk for the next week or so. You can blame the baby Jesus for my inebriation.
There you go. It's a good system.
Yeah.
I feel like that old DrawBomb needs a big long beard.
Oh, that's what, you know what? Yeah, I started like hyper fixating a lot on like various aspects of this drawing. Most recently, the nipple. Trying to figure out
It's a
the
nice
right.
nipple. You perfected it, I think.
Thank you.
It looks the part.
But it's gonna be covered up now by the beard, unfortunately.
Dang it!
Although, what
This
if
year's already sucks. This year is already sucks was the sentence I just.
YouTube's new rules are really getting in the way of this nipple and the beard. I tell you what.
Oh, they don't allow nipples on YouTube?
YouTube just
man
like YouTube just released like a whole new big sweeping change to their like algorithms or whatever, and it's like, hey, they were like, you can't curse in like the first 15 seconds of your video.
What?
But then which was like kind of a thing. Like, I mean, people have already been not cursing in like the first 30 seconds of a video because, you know, that way the advertisers like it more, the algorithm likes it more. But a bunch of creators on the site have like been having a bunch of their videos demonetized because YouTube's basically like, maybe don't curse at all. And so that's kind of like and they kind of like just stealth released that. That's what I'm hearing from the various YouTubers I watch who have complained about it.
Pretty lame.
So YouTube's going like PG-13, possibly PG
YouTube
over here.
Turned into just like a TV channel.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, YouTube pulling some bullshit, making everybody mad. What's new?
Let's see, new stuff. Do you have any things lined up for this year that you're expecting to be different? In mind, like, this year, I'm going to do this or that. That's different.
Well, I'm definitely gonna try and just be more, like, make more stuff. Like,
I'm also gonna try to do that.
Yeah.
This past year, I made a lot of stuff, but I didn't make much. I made almost nothing for myself, which is rare. I used to like draw almost every day for fun. I didn't do much of that this year. It was mostly only work, and then like a few things for myself here and there, but it's pretty rare. I'm gonna try to do more of that because it makes me very happy. Just like doing it, like the drastic change in my mood if I'm just being creative, flexing creative muscles for myself here and there, and you know,
yeah,
try to do more of that.
Heck yeah.
That's one thing. Uh-oh. You having issues?
No, we did have like one of those disconnects I was talking about a little earlier. It only lasted like a couple seconds. Still just kind of annoying, but also I was having some issues with draw pile, but I got that fixed. But you know, there's like a million things to keep track of when, you know, you're running OBS on this thing. It's a million moving parts. But yeah, it's good to hear that you're going to be doing some work for yourself. I mean, you haven't really had the opportunity to sort of like.
It's been a busy year.
It's been a busy year and a half or so.
Felt like, you know, most of my free time is spoken for, so
yeah.
Hopefully things will be a little bit more freed up for me to do some of my own shit.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to you.
I'm moving this year.
That's right, you are. The house that you've called home for a while is gonna be a different house.
I love this place. So it's gonna be a big change. We're moving not super far away, but far away enough that will also be a change. I do love this city, and I'm gonna miss it. And I'm not gonna be like so far away that I can't still come, but it's not. I won't be living in it, you know.
Right.
So that's like bittersweet. But literally, that's like the only downside. Everything else is like a pro. That's like the only con. But yeah, it's a big one, you know.
Yeah, for sure. But it's cool. It's exciting. I mean, it's always
exciting.
You know,
it's an upgrade. It's an upgrade in a living situation for sure. Like, the new place will be much better. I'll have a like dedicated area for my office. There will, you know, will also be a guest room, as you can see, a bed behind me. So I'll be able to like, I'll probably combine like, office and studio. So it'll probably be like, I can put all my like nerdy shit in one space, and I can have all my, like, I still do traditional art. I'll have all that stuff in the same room. It'll be nice. It'll be fun to like have a official like space, and it'll also be nice to be able to like dress it up for like the background of the stream will hopefully look more interesting than a bed and like a McDonald's logo in the corner.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, when you close the blinds like you have tonight, you can't really see. You can't tell
Until
that
they
we're
sponsor us,
sponsored.
I'm not opening that blind.
I admire your dedication to it. There they are.
Golden arches there.
What if, like, maybe they would have sponsored us all this time ago if you had just opened the damn blinds, Brandon.
But yeah, well, I want them to come. I want their people to call my people, not the other way around.
That's fair. They would call our people if we showed their fucking logo every episode.
It's true. Like, wow, we're getting that DrawBomb bump.
Wow, all
Double cheeseburger sales have gone up
by 1.
0.00001%. That's actually probably a huge percent in the McDonald's.
And honestly, yeah, if we're
Grants.
doing like billions, that's probably still a good amount. It's at least 10.
So, it'll be nice. It's a huge upgrade as far as living situation, as I already said. So it'll be fun. I'm excited to do that. It'll be different.
I'm excited for you, and I'm excited to visit you so that I can check out your new digs.
Yeah.
Rub my ass on some new pieces of furniture.
Come on in. Do it. Need to break them in.
That's right. Oh, I'll break them.
Most people just call it sitting, but you know, you do you.
Yeah, that's me being.
You just do a little bit more grinding when you sit.
Yeah, I'm like a dog when they're like rubbing on the carpet.
I'm trying to itch my butthole.
I do a lap on the couch. Especially if it's one of those, what do you call them, sectionals? If it's one of those.
That's what you call them.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy, we're off to a rollicking. Is that a word? Rollicking start? Isn't that a word?
Okay, before you look it up.
Yeah.
What do you think this word means?
Rollicking?
Yeah.
Active or like hyperactive almost, like just exuberant and wild.
All right. Sounds right. If you said it with more confidence, I would have believed that was a word. It might be a word. Rollicking.
How are you spelling
So I
it?
think it's kind of ROLICKING.
Try with 2 L's.
Okay. Exuberantly, lively, and amusing. You use the word exuberant, so
I did. Holy
There you
shit.
go.
I guess that's how
Get
it's
it.
done, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you know good words.
This,
is you
this
just
motherfucker knows words. Wait, was that in the first 5 minutes? Did I ruin our...
Oh, yeah, I mean, I think we've
Lose their
ruined it a
McDonald's.
long time ago. If we swore at all, we're never gonna get monetized by YouTube. YouTube's never gonna monetize us.
Dang it.
But yeah, you know, I feel like I've heard it in the phrase like laughing and rollicking, maybe perhaps in like a Christmas song. Does that sound familiar?
I mean, probably every time I heard it, I thought I was hearing like frolicking. My brain
Fair.
Probably just edited it.
Brain ADD.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So that's something new, but I'm excited to like set up the space and like, you know, the background for the show and also just have all my stuff in one room. Because right now I have all my studio stuff in the basement, but the basement's kind of like not really an area I want to hang out in, so I don't really go down there that much. So,
yeah, I did
as
see the
traditional work
sad little room with so much potential in it, but it was also cold as fuck in that basement, which I feel like is something
it
you
is,
couldn't
so it's not-
control.
It's just not space.
Yeah.
I tried. It's just not
It seems more like a storage area, but like honestly,
Yep.
less climate controlled than a storage space might need to be.
Yeah.
Not a good place for that. So your new place is going to give you a sort of studio that you will
Yeah,
set
do a
up,
lot
is
more
what you're
work.
saying.
I could even like stream myself doing traditional work, which would be fun.
Wow, I think people would love that.
Yeah, I would enjoy it as well. So yeah, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we can up the DrawBomb schedule. Maybe I can throw another day on there where I'm drawing something like on actual paper.
Huh.
It'd be fun.
Yeah. Special DrawBomb analog episode.
I mean, I could do it like weekly or something. Like draw some real stuff, or draw. I guess this is real too, but you know what I mean.
Kind of doing like a Cody
Tangible.
Shabby sort of thing.
I mean, I think there's a lot of streamers that do it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it's. I have the little camera arm. I have all the tools. I just need to.
Well,
I just don't have a good space to do it right here.
I think you should then. I think that'd be a hoot. It'd be a hoot and Annie. Well, boy, howdy. Have you watched anything?
Um, let's see. Since last week, have I watched anything?
Well, do you also have anything else you want to say about the new home? I'm like, I don't want to say too many questions about your new home because I don't want to like semi-dox you or anything like that.
Oh well, I mean, I don't.
Or your
I don't think
situation.
that. It's. I mean, it's much bigger. Has like a finished basement in the backyard and a garage, and it's quiet there. Right now, I live next to a bar, and at 2 a.m., there's people like revving their motorcycles and being assholes, and I'm excited for that to not be a thing. So I'm gonna sleep like a baby. I may never wake up ever again, which is fine. Finally, the sweet release.
That's exciting. It's kind of, now I hope you don't mind me saying this, but it's interesting that you have gone through matrimony, and now you're like living and you're moving to like a new place to live in.
Right. It seems weird. I always see like people get married and then immediately they're like, "We're pregnant and we're moving and we bought this and that," and I'm just like, whoa, like the second you get married, you're just doing all that shit. And it has happened, but it was coincidence.
Yeah, it was a coincidence, not just like a finally time to go wild. I mean, you guys have already been living together for a while. Like that's
right.
I think one of the larger steps in a relationship is living together. So once you guys got that out of the way, the rest was pretty much like, you know, just a matter of time.
Things that have changed since I've been married, because now it's been just shy, like literally tomorrow will be a month since the wedding. Things have changed, not much. The key differences are we combined our banking, and Morgan's name is officially changed as
hey, you got that done, dude. Nice.
So no more giant Polish name that no one can spell.
I thought it was a lovely name once I learned how to say it.
I like the name. She liked the name, but I think she honestly, I think she probably wouldn't have even bothered to change it, but she's probably just like, I think she just is looking forward to not having like to explain it to everybody and spell it out to everybody.
She is gonna go from a name that no one can like pronounce unless they've practiced like reading like Polish names before, and now she's gone to like, it's like the vowel is the same. There's like two
it's
vowels.
one of those names that like Chapman is my last name is Chapman, and if it's one of those names that even if you don't have never heard it before in your life, you know how to spell it automatically.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
It's handy. It's a convenient name.
It's all changed.
My name is convenient in that it's like the quickest shit to write. Like I have less letters in my entire name, first and last at least, than most people do in their first name. Or not most people, but some people do in their first name.
That's true.
But it's still like a name that I have to like sound out for people, because like it's been less so. There's been a lot more Ians in the world.
You ever get called Ian?
Oh my god. Well, I used to all the time. Now I've actually lately, I would say in the last 10 years, most people who have read my name have pronounced it correctly, which has been great. Very unusual. I think there's just been a lot more Ians that have like done things. It's a bit more of a common name now. I still have to like slow down if I'm going to say my entire name, like Ian Newton.
Ian Newton.
It still sounds like a fucking like some shit they say in Fraggle Rock.
I have a name like that. I mean, well, I don't, but like Brandon is a name that you can't say to somebody. You can't enunciate it without sounding like a psychopath. I'm Brandon. Yeah. So I say it, and then people are like, always think I'm saying like Brennan or Brian or that's the why I always make the jokes about like Brenton and stuff like that. Just because like people, I never correct them anymore. I'm just like,
yeah,
sure, close enough. I just don't care.
That's how I was like in college. Like I had this one teacher who I used to like correct for the first half of the year, and then I just like stopped trying because I was just like, okay, whatever. And then
It's not worth the trouble.
Wasn't worth the trouble. Like he's an old man. Like he's just God bless me, still working, and he's this age. Like he just needs to get through this day. I'm not gonna be like a roadblock in that. And then the one day he says my name wrong and I just let it slide, and one of my classmates is like, his name's Ian, not Ethan. And I'm just like, dog, now he's gonna feel bad. Like
Exactly. I had a teacher once say my name wrong, and I was like, close enough. And then she was like, when she corrected herself, she's like, what? Like, no, that wasn't even close. And I'm like, I don't care. It's not a big deal. If the goal of a name is for when you say it, I know you're speaking to me, and that's accomplished. So I don't give it. Who cares what you call me?
You can call me Sally. You can call me Sally. Our relationship is transactional, and I will stop seeing you in like 6 months. Like that's just the nature of this.
People that get all weird about like their name getting forgotten and shit like that are just like insecure. Like who
yeah.
How self-important? Like, oh, you didn't remember my name, and it's like maybe be more memorable. You ever considered that?
Be more memorable. Or learn to stop giving a shit if people say your name wrong. Like, it's fine.
Who cares?
Get over yourself.
By the way, I've used that maybe be more memorable line to people before, and it's never well received.
It's never.
They stop me.
They don't find joy like in that.
The people that get mad about you forgetting their name hate when you say that.
That's funny as hell.
Tread lightly with that if anybody adopts that.
Oh, it's
really very funny. It will get you in trouble.
I don't have the courage to be so so I don't know how to describe that approach.
Yeah. Chaotic energy, I think.
Very chaotic energy. Aggressive almost.
For trouble.
It's nigh aggressive.
Sometimes I feel like being super aggressive about like pointless or like silly things is like a form of comedy to me. It's like, surely nobody could care this much about this topic, right? For you to get mad or
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's called gaslighting. Is that what I'm doing?
No, I don't. I think the gaslighting is there's a little bit of a different motivation behind gaslighting, just a little bit. But it is funny to be aggressive about something serious. But as long as the people you're doing that with like are in on the joke, if they're not, then it's just awkward.
I've gotten better at reading when people are not in on the joke, because there was a period where I was, I've learned young that your joke doesn't have to be that funny if you deliver it dryly.
Yeah.
But the issue is that people sometimes don't know you're joking. And
yeah.
They think you're just a big dickhead. So.
What I've had happen, you are very dry, and people tend to miss that your jokes. I will say I've tried being dry and had people miss like the fact that I'm like pretending to be stupid or just to like mock something. I've also tried being very over the top and like doing a silly voice if I was going to pretend to be stupid, and people would still think that I was being serious. So just don't pretend to, just don't, sometimes just don't pretend to be ignorant to something, because people will believe it regardless of how you package it.
You know what I hate? This is a pet peeve. It's a little different, but when somebody is doing a bit and then you yes and them by continuing to do the bit, and then they're like, dude, I was joking, and you're like, yeah, I know. I understand.
I am a little bit I am guilty of that, although I don't say like, dude, it was a joke. I just answer whatever their yes and was with complete sincerity and seriousness. Like I stop the bit and just like if they're like, if I'm like yes anding and I'm like, oh yes, I am a Super Saiyan, and then somebody like yes ands and goes like, oh, what's your power level? And I'd be like, oh, I don't know, maybe my power, I'm not a real Super Saiyan, so I guess.
Well, that's funny too, because it's just steering out of the thing you created. That's funny for a different reason.
Yeah, but for me, it's not funny when I do it in a normal situation. Normally, it's very awkward, and people are just like, I was yes anding you. And normally I'm like, yeah, I know, but I wanted to answer this seriously.
Like an example of what I'm talking about is if somebody pretends to be mad and they're like obviously joking, and then I'm just like, I know, I'm such a fucking idiot, and they're like, no, dude, I was kidding. And I'm like, I know you were kidding. I'm also kidding. What? You're the only one who's allowed to joke around here?
You motherfucker. Yeah, I'm so mad at you now.
It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
But I've gotten better. I used to be, like, I'd say in high school, I'd just be like, all the people I hung around with, we all just made fun of each other in like a fun way, and we all enjoyed it. But then I was not good at reading people who were clearly not in on the joke. And so there was a lot of people that were just like say something rude, and they're just like, what the fuck? And I'm like, oh, sorry, joke. Forgot that not everyone knows that I am. But I'm better at that now. I don't do that as much.
Yeah, I mean, I would say both of us are probably much more socially aware, and that's a good thing.
I guess the goal is, as time goes on, you just are better at being alive, right? Like,
yeah, I would say so.
you wanna get
better at that. You want to get at least a little bit better every year at being like a person to other people, you know?
Being a human in a society. You know?
I would argue that I don't even know if I'm still any good at it, but I'm definitely better, I think, than, like, when I think back to like shit I was doing when I was like 18 through 25, and some at many occasions 25 through now, I'm just like, what the fuck, man? Like, this is embarrassing. Like,
that means progress has been made, though. If you look back, the people who really need to worry about themselves are the ones who look back from when they were like a kid and they're like, fuck yeah, I was cool.
Yeah, I was rocking it.
Miss those days. Miss those days when I was cool. It's like, no, don't think you peaked back then, because you're the only one who thinks that. Everyone you interacted with feels probably differently.
The goal of life is to be a little bit less annoying every year, and if you do not find ways to do that, then you are becoming the problem.
Real quick, looking at the chat, Leviathan Den says, "Is that Father Time?" Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Well, actually, no. This is technically This is the 2022. Father Time is a different character altogether, isn't it?
Oh, I thought Father Time was the old man at the end of the.
No, well, Father Time is an old man, but he is like a representation of time. This is an old
time
man
in general, not just 1 year.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless I don't know. It's like Father Time, Baby New Year, but like, I guess maybe it's not actually Father Time. I don't know. Yeah, it's an old man who represents time. What do those guys talk about when they meet up? What are they? Father Time and this guy.
Nothing, because this guy's only been alive for a year, and Father Time has been alive for like eternity.
This guy ages rapidly.
Yeah, he's got Benjamin Button's disease, but going forward, and is super fast. Yeah, he's got Jack disease.
Robin Williams Jack. You don't see him for a week, and he comes back, and he's like, I don't know. I can't think of a joke fast enough.
That's okay. But you know what? I gotta say, Benjamin Button the movie cracks me up, just because when like Brad Pitt, aka Benjamin Button, like meets up with his ex-wife, who is now older, and he is like a 18-year-old motorcycle riding dude. Like, they have like a fake version of him, and it looks like the dude from Team America World Police. Like, it's just like such a weird CGI Brad Pitt. Cracks me up is all.
Yeah, they haven't quite mastered that yet.
I just think about that when I want to laugh sometimes. I'm just like, fucking CGI young Brad Pitt from Benjamin Button is hilarious. Like, I wrote a tweet about it. I wrote a tweet about it the one time, and it was and I wrote a tweet, but I don't know if it's even still up, because I'm not sure if it's on the account I deleted or not. But it's like Benjamin Button when he's an old man, and it was like a picture of Dr. Kleiner from Half-Life 2. And then it was Benjamin Button when he's a young man, and it was a picture of the main character from Team America World Police. And I still stand by that statement. I think that's exactly what it looks like.
Dr. Kleiner is a good example of old man Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
I like how they're trying to make him look like this like old baby thing in the beginning, but like babies kind of look like that anyways.
Yeah, well, you start to like sort of regress back into a baby as you like reach the end of your like cycle.
As you finish watching the movie.
Yes, as you finish watching Benjamin Button,
I'm Benjamin Buttons, and I'm. Boy, what a wild journey we're going on.
Aren't I curious?
Benjamin Button was pretty curious, but his case was especially curious.
What was like a noir detective.
He was always carrying it around.
I can never quite figure out what was going on with that Benjamin. Far as I could tell.
Hi, I'm Benjamin Button. I got a weird age disorder, and also here's my weird ass case. It's got like weird colors, and it's like sequins on it.
It's like that book from
making a weird noise. It's like
Hocus
vibrating.
Pocus. It's got like body parts like as part of it. There's like an eyeball.
Well, that thing sure is curious. I don't know about that thing.
That should be the rock paper pencil for when we after we come back from break. We'll do what the curious case of Benjamin Button looks like.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's a calendar.
That was the plan. Or like one of those like day ones. I don't know. I was thinking this wouldn't be a bad drawing to like kind of leave kind of simple.
Oh yeah, I was thinking like just this, like without the background necessarily.
I can get rid of the calendar too if that's
one
taken
second.
away from it all.
Give it a second. Drawing something very important.
Sexy lady. Whoa, dude. How'd you do that?
Dude.
Can I commission you?
Yeah, dude.
I have a weird kink for bomb.
Oh god.
Anthropomorphic bomb people, ladies.
Oh god. I hope we never get successful because I never want to see like
you never
rule
want to reach
34,
rule 34
of our bomb characters.
Yikes. No, I don't want that either. I was gonna put numbers on those, but this is funny too.
I don't know, do we still want to get rid of the calendar? Like
I don't know, if you don't like it, we can get rid of it.
I mean this was just a joke. This was a joke, but
this is joke.
This is a joke. I don't know. How do you feel about the calendar?
Oh, I get it. I don't know. Let me see when it's done. Not finished yet. Coloring skills. Almost in the lines.
What?
Wow, dude. Oh, wow.
Your calligraphy on that goot is quite fancy. You really looks like you went through that G twice.
I might have. I put a lot of practice. I was writing goo long before this episode just to get it right.
Boy, did you ever follow that goo up with a ga or two?
I've thought about it. I've definitely thought about it, but you gotta perfect. Step one, you gotta learn how to.
So you would write goo, and then you just to make sure you got it right, you would write goo again.
Right, I've written goo a lot. So I've been only goos so far.
And then maybe you'd pepper in a couple of guys, so you'd be like, a goo,
I might.
a goo, a ga, a ga.
A goo goo.
A goo here, a gaga there. God, why would anyone ever watch us?
I don't know. Something's wrong with them. It speaks more about, issues with them than issues with us, I think.
That's right. Yeah, I blame it on everybody but me.
Anyone's allowed to stream. It's their fault for watching this.
This is
trash.
Twitch's fault for creating a platform for this to exist. I see Twitch.
So there you go. There
A goo and a ga. Yeah. How do you feel about this?
I feel like I would like it more if drawing was like a couple centimeters to the left, but I'll just get rid of it. That's what I'm gonna do.
What, like the old man and the baby?
The calendar. Goodbye.
Oh my god. Your calendar, it's numbers went away. It's doing that thing again.
Yeah, I was gonna say frozen on. on my end.
It'll be back in like 2 seconds, but this is annoying. I had like a moment where the streams were going through no problem.
Yeah, things were going good.
And then I had to go on Christmas break, and everything's. I think what I just gotta do is I just gotta reset the routers and whatever's the other things. At some point, maybe I'll do that tonight.
Should I save the sucker?
Save it. Save it for the love of God.
I'm saving it. Jeez.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, should we write the episode number somewhere in this drawing? We don't normally do that, but
We haven't been doing that in a while. I think for the sake of reposting it, which is also a thing I'm going to be doing more of, the number doesn't really matter so much.
Alrighty, ready. Then that's fine with me.
I don't know, unless you prefer it.
I got no preference. We haven't done it for a while.
Okay. All right, it's saved.
Alrighty. In the meantime, do you want to go on?
Away.
Do you want to go on a quick break and then
Sure, just a little quick break.
Quick break, refill our waders.
A break fast.
Give me a break, and then we'll reconvene, and we will do a rock paper pencil. What do you say?
Sounds great.
Alrighty, ready. Well, we'll be right back, folks. Bye 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 bye.
All right, love you. Bye.
Oh, hey, we're back.
Wow.
Oh, all right. Wow.
It's good to be back.
Good gosh. It's good to be
if
back.
I still remember how to do this. It's been a while.
It's been a while. This is a new look. Whatever you're doing, this is fresh. This is fun.
It's a new year, you know. I do a line now.
Whoa. Line, bro. If you're doing a line, I'm gonna do a line.
We're both doing lines over here.
Oh, how's that line over there? Oh, how's that line? Yeah.
One thing I watched, you asked me and I said I didn't really watch anything. I finished Cabinet of Curiosities last night. I've kind of been gradually watching it since like Halloween. But I finished it last night, and the last two were pretty good. Those were the last two I had to watch, but the second to last one is, I don't know if it's my favorite of the whole anthology, but it was really fun. It's like just very simple and weird, and it had some fun people in it. It had oh shit, I can't remember any of their names. Steve Agee is in it, and it had Eric Andre.
Nice. That's fun.
And what's her name? Margaret Wu? Is that her name? Is that right?
Wish I could tell you. I didn't watch it.
That's not it. Margaret Wu is a
Statistician?
That's the word. Yeah.
Or it's a statistician.
Anyways.
Statistician. I'd have to read it to know which one is right. I want to say statistician, but I could be wrong.
No, because there's another extra syllable in there.
Statistician. Statistician. Let's you know what, you can ask Wikipedia to say it for you. I'm gonna do that. Or some
I want to know.
Pronunciation.
Statistician.
Statistician. There it is.
Yeah, you heard it. Statistician. Did I say that at one point? I feel like I didn't.
I don't know. I would have said that you got it right, but maybe I'm just giving you too much credit.
Don't do that. Don't give me credit.
So there were some really fun ones in there. I recommend watching it. They're hit or miss, but I'd say more hit than miss, I think. At the very least, the good ones are very good, and the mediocre ones are at least interesting to watch, even if you're at the end you're like, whatever.
I'll take interesting over,
Yeah, they were like visually interesting, and they're like, just the stories are interesting. But yeah, I thought it was good. The last one, the one with all those people in it, was pretty pretty fun. It's very, very bizarre. They spent the whole thing setting up like the last few seconds of just weirdness, which is actually true for a lot of these. But I recommend it if you like little short stories. It's a good one. I hope they make another season of it because it seems like tying your name to Guillermo del Toro and wait, no, that's not right. Yeah, Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
I always think I'm always thinking
Benicio del Toro.
Benicio del Toro. Yeah.
They have very different careers.
They do indeed. They do indeed. Anyways, that was good, I guess is all I'm trying to say.
Cool.
I don't want to spoil anything about it.
I've been meaning to check it out, but there's just a lot of shit to keep up with.
There's too many things to watch in this world.
Too much TV.
I also watched, I won't get overly deep into it because it's kind of like a political thing and that's no fun to talk about. But I watched This Place Rules.
Oh yeah, the Channel 5 documentary thing.
Channel 5 documentary. It's good. I like the focus it makes on basically like instead of picking like left or right, it's showing how the sides have kind of been strategically been pitted against each other by like internet, like social media, people who profit off it.
Yeah.
And that's the focus. So it's not really saying like, you know, I mean, I have my opinions and everyone does and probably, but regardless of that, that's not what this
it's not like
speaking
doing. It's sending like a message out, not to like a specific side, but just saying.
I mean,
like,
they show crazy people on both sides. Like it's clear that like the bees have been stirred up on both sides. And by a outside group that's not really doesn't give as much of a shit about the actual issues or whatever. That
it's just
over.
using.
They're just trying to sell ad time and shit like that.
Yeah, outrage gets clicks.
So that was kind of the main focus, which was cool. And I always like him as a journalist just because he's very neutral. He just like lets people talk. He doesn't try to guide them in a direction or anything like that.
He doesn't like
Andrew something.
Yeah, Andrew Callahan. He's never really setting them up to be like buffoons either. He's never like given the leading questions to like make them say crazy shit. He's just letting people say.
He just gives you a platform. Like here.
Yeah.
Talking to the microphone and I'll put it on the internet for you.
You look like an interesting person fucking talking to this microphone.
And it shows some human. I mean, yes, a lot of times they are kind of crazy, but also like sometimes it gives humanity to somebody that would be outside seem crazy. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or maybe they might be crazy, but still, or maybe I shouldn't be using the word crazy, but you know what I'm saying? Like people who are
unhinged in a way, like who have sort of lost the grip.
Not what you're used to. Extra text here. Welcome, says DrawBomb, my DrawBomb. How are you, boys? I'm doing great.
Doing good. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, buddy.
Happy New Year.
Happy to see
ya. Okay, so do we want to hide each other's work for this, or just?
Yes, I'm gonna hide brand chaps 123. You hide Ian 123. I also made layer 1 hide that as well because that's gonna be my like shading layer.
Okay. Hide that.
Extra taxes. Happy New Year. I had a very bad day, but I'm happy to spend some time with you, delightful gentlemen. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope that you can, at least have the night to sort of turn your mood around and turn, things around at least in your mind.
Sorry about your day.
Always unfortunate to hear that, but we're here for ya. And well, watch us draw these crazy cases we're about to draw. What do you say? Oh boy.
That's where I store my buttons. I don't know. I did it in the voice of the gingerbread man from Shrek.
Oh, because you said buttons, and I think he talked about buttons.
Just my brain did it on its own. I did that.
Oh boy.
That was not by design.
My little buttons of gumdrops.
My brain just did a Shrek meme on its own without me telling it to. It's concerning.
You're doing Shrek memes. You're memeing, and when you don't want to meme and you end up memeing anyways, you can start to feel terminally online. You know, you can start to feel.
Yeah.
Maybe you've been on the internet for a moment too long. If Shrek memes are starting to come out of you, but also I know some people who just make a living on Shrek memes. So
it's true. It can be done.
It can be done. I've seen it.
How much money is Nuki up to? Have you seen?
I haven't seen yet. We should check. You check.
You check. Fuck you. Dude.
Every time I open up Microsoft or Firefox, every time I open up Microsoft Firefox, I put it over the Discord chat, and that freezes our images once my computer knows that it can like stop generating like the video. It's like, fuck yeah, taking a break.
Oh yeah, put my feet up.
Yeah. Think I'm gonna be fucking streaming this video the whole time. You ain't even watching me.
What a weird purchase for Windows to have bought Firefox.
I know, right? It's crazy.
At least they finally
admitted that
the fact that Internet Explorer is never going to be.
Well, now it's Microsoft Edge.
They can call it that if they want.
Yeah, but it's totally just Internet Explorer. Although it handles PDFs better than most programs for me. Better than Adobe Acrobat, in all honesty.
You use it.
Only to open up PDFs. And it becomes pre-installed on Windows and you can't uninstall it, so. So you're saying you use it.
You see how I judged you?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Sorry, I couldn't help it. I didn't
Sorry,
want to judge you. But...
Sorry you haven't opened a PDF on Microsoft Edge, you fucking man who has not left the cave yet. Just waiting to pull a Zarathustra.
Hey man, I've spent years opening PDFs. I don't need to start using Internet Explorer now.
It's not called Internet Explorer, dude. It's Microsoft Edge, bruh.
I'm edging.
Oh god.
What? Does that mean something else? What?
Speaking of the Cali Surfer Bro, I know you're aware of this because I've told you about this, but I gotta bring this up. And people who have hung around me have heard me talk about this, but I think it's hilarious. But I was, that terrifying new chatbot GPT.
Oh yeah.
It's out there. It's doing some crazy stuff, and I deigned. Some of the stuff it's able to do. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I deigned to ask it to explain nuclear fusion to me in the style of a Cali Surfer Bro. Bruh. And let me find out where.
Pretty good job.
It did a damn good job. It was concise. It explained nuclear fusion in a manner that I understood. And it did it hilariously like a Cali Surfer Bro. It didn't just do it like a Cali Surfer Bro. It nailed it. So, covering up my current drawing right now for the people. But you can see it here. I said, for those who are, I'll just narrate what it is here, but it says, explain nuclear fusion like a Cali Surfer Bro. And then chatbot GPT goes, sure, here's an explanation of nuclear fusion in the style of a Californian surfer bro. Dude, nuclear fusion is like the ultimate energy source, man. It's like you take hydrogen and slam it together and boom, you get this insane amount of energy, way more than you would from regular old chemical reactions. It's like the sun, man. It's the sun's energy source. And we can do it here on Earth, dude. It's seriously rad. We just need to figure out how to do it efficiently and sustainably, and we'll have all the energy we need, man. It's like the ultimate wave, dude. And
pretty impressive.
It's pretty impressive. First of all, it generated that in like 2 seconds, that whole thing. But just, I couldn't not just laugh hysterically at, it's like the ultimate wave, dude. Like, that's going the extra mile.
Not only is that an extra mile, but that's high praise from a surfer.
That's like the ultimate
surfer.
wave.
That's the best compliment you can give as a surfer.
Yeah. Calling something the ultimate wave, like that's like the raddest shit. Like surfers.
I imagine he's speaking to another surfer, and that surfer's like, "Oh, okay."
Dude, I want to ride that wave,
that
dude.
That is a term that I can totally follow.
Dude, let's become scientists so we can ride that wave, dude. Let's ride the wave.
Yeah, people have been using. I saw some posts on TikTok that was going through like some of the uses you might not think of it for, but like it can like translate in like proper syntax. It can like proofread things. It can basically like do like crazy thought experiments and equations and things like that. It's pretty wild.
It's pretty nuts, dude. And it's
like the ultimate wave.
It's like the ultimate wave, dude. It's AI, dude. I should have asked it to explain AI or explain itself like a Cali surfer, bro. That'd have been fun. But yeah,
we all better be careful, or we're gonna get fired from Google.
Yeah.
And like fall in love with it or something.
That just the what a crazy news cycle that was to see that. And then to see like the picture of what the dude dressed like, and to be like, oh,
that's like, the best part because it like changed the story completely.
Like never have I seen.
Buried the lead.
Never have I seen like a person's like manner, like when you see like there are people who when you see what they do in their free time, maybe you say like that's weird. But maybe we shouldn't discredit this person, you know, like, you know, we're not yucking yums here. But like when you see that dude dressed like in that weird steampunk supervillain shit that he was dressed as, like I've never seen everybody collectively just all of a sudden say, oh yeah, we don't have to listen to anything this guy says. Like I'm good. Like that news story stopped the moment that picture released. Like I stopped seeing anybody take it seriously.
It's pretty impressive that you can kill all credibility just by putting on an outfit.
Just by having that.
Like unironically.
Yeah. What a crazy moment that was, looking back. I watched a movie.
Your swig of real quick before we go on. Your swig of water
super
there sounded
loud.
It sounded like a wet fart, and I wasn't watching. And also, I looked up quickly and I saw you're drinking water, and I was relieved.
It
just sounded like you shit your pants.
My throat did a weird thing swallowing that water, but yeah, that could have been bad if that was out of my butt.
Fun fact for everybody: if you are going to shit yourself, pretend like you're drinking water to cover it up, and no one will know.
Oh, what a good drink of water!
I'm so thirsty.
Oh man. But yeah, I watched a movie. It was, you know, so I watched the new Christmas Story sequel.
All right, yeah, I want to talk about that.
Which is, it's called, I believe, A Christmas Story Christmas, is what it's called. And with the title like that, with it being like a 39-year sequel to a movie that is hailed as a Christmas classic, you know, we came into the film just expecting just garbage, just the absolute worst. And I don't know if maybe the Christmas season affects the way I appreciate some movies, because I liked both of like the new Christmas movies I've seen this year. And the second Christmas movie I liked was the fucking Christmas Story sequel. Like it wasn't a perfect movie. The narration, I thought, I was like, I get it. Like it was basically Ralphie, whatever the guy's name is.
The first one was narrated, so.
The first one was narrated, so it was narrated by the guy who wrote the original short stories that the movie was based off of. And in this new one, it's the guy who plays like they got all the original actors except for the mom because she's retired from acting and she didn't want to be in the movie. And not the dad because he's dead. And the movie's about that. Yeah, so like he's doing the narration and it's clearly like the guy who plays Ralphie just kind of like doing his best impersonation of the narrator from the first Christmas Story. And it's a little like, I think like what it is like whoever was doing the sound mixing just like compressed the shit out of it. So it's like very loud and booming and like present. And I wish it was just a little less because it's annoying. But Extra Tech says they didn't even hear about this movie until like 5 days after Christmas. Yeah, I saw ads for it because I'm on HBO, the app, a lot, and they put ads for that shit. But yeah, I ended up liking it enough. I liked it.
Surprised me.
I was insanely like, I don't know, like never trust what I say about a fucking movie again because I like the Christmas Story sequel that was made 39 years later. So I don't know.
I forget who, but somebody else also said they didn't think it was the worst thing in the world. It's a surprise to me.
Yeah, it was funny. I laughed. They have that one lady. She's been like really popping off. She's in a lot of things. She was in, I want to say she was one of the main actresses in Children's Hospital. I'm just going to look her name up. But she's been in a lot of stuff, and every time she's in stuff, she does a good job. She's in the TV show The Goldbergs. One sec. Google. Erin Hayes.
Okay.
I don't know if that name means anything to you. If you saw her face, you'd be like...
Offhand.
Yeah, she was in Children's Hospital. But yeah, if you saw her face, you'd be like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. But she plays the wife and she does a great job. There's like a scene where she's like talking to a drunk or a hungover Ralphie, and she's like laughing and acting like reading a list, and it seems like the actress is having a good time with it, and it gives the scene a little bit of extra sort of just, I don't know, the whole movie once again for a fucking sequel about like 39 years later, just like the ultimate cash in, they managed to walk away from the whole movie with like feeling like a human made it.
That's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, which is what I felt about Spirited, and I think that's what I just look for in movies nowadays, is like walking away from the movie and like feeling like a boardroom didn't make it, but like somebody with an idea. It was
creative decisions, it wasn't an algorithm.
Exactly. And I got that sense from both Spirited, even though Spirited was bloated. But I liked Spirited because it did new things. It was interesting, and I ended up liking the Christmas Story sequel because it also felt human. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. I liked it.
I mean, that's a good thing. You want things to be good, right?
You do, yeah, but I'm just like, this is like the last thing I expected to like walk away from being like, wow, I actually enjoyed my time with that.
I would have lost that bet if I was trying to predict these things.
I straight up made a deal with the family because like sometimes if it's a bad movie, we like to talk over it because like at that point, like, you know, where are we going to spend our time like focusing our brains on this? Like, no, let's just talk over the movie. So I made a deal with everybody that like, because sometimes folks will get mad if you do talk over the bad movie. So I was like, if we hate it, we get to talk over it. Okay? Do we all agree? There's an agreement in the family as we started the movie up, and then we ended up liking it.
Does everybody like it?
Yeah, we expected to hate it
because some of your family is pickier than others.
Not everyone liked Spirited.
All right. Interesting. Well, I'm gonna watch it then.
I'm sorry ahead of time if you don't like it, but I don't know.
No, you're good. I mean, you know, I think no one is to be blamed but yourself if you watch a movie like that and don't like it. It's like a way past relevancy sequel type thing, just trying to make money. But if they pull it off, that's great.
Yeah, it was weird. I just kind of like.
I like good movies. I want movies to be good.
Yeah, me too. But like, I wonder, like, is it a good movie, or did my brain just stop
Does
working?
Christmas get like a little bit more of a pass or something?
Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I liked it. It made me laugh. They didn't. I thought for sure it was gonna be like a rehash of the plot of the first one, or that they would just be really cashing. Like when we watched The Matrix Rebooted or whatever the fuck it's called, um, like that one would just straight up show scenes from the original.
Yeah.
And this one did to an extent. It showed like flashes of like scenes or like sound clips from the original. And I thought they were really going to cash in on that. But they did not to the degree I thought they would, at least. A couple of times here and there, I was kind of like, all right, man, come on. But for the most part, yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
But good on them. I'm glad it doesn't suck.
I guess not. I don't know. I
mean, I guess I don't care. I mean, it's not like one of those movies that I was like, God, I hope this is good.
Right, yeah.
You know? I guess I don't care either way, but I guess if it's good, that's one more good movie. I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel weird liking it because I'm like this.
Yeah, it feels like there's some shame.
Yeah,
in liking it.
It does.
But you know, if you like it, that's great. Don't yuck your own yums.
I'm yucking it. I'm yucking it. But yeah, I liked it. I don't know. It made me laugh. Yeah, it was a different sort of movie. It was basically like the first movie was like sort of like these short stories about this guy's life centered around Christmas time, like kind of a hodgepodge of a bunch of different short stories, but sort of just you get a sense of like the time and stuff in the original, you know?
Right.
And so this new one's like now Ralphie's the one growing up, and like it's like from his perspective, so he's like trying to give his kids a good Christmas. So it's sort of like where the first movie was about this kid in like the 40s having like what it was like for him in Christmas. Now that kid's grown up, and like what's it like for him trying to give a Christmas to his kids. And like they have like these little bits here and there that are kind of like fresh and fun, and you're like, oh yeah, so this is a funny parenting take on what it's like to put a Christmas up. Like there's like a scene where he's like making his kids do shit because he can. He's just like, that's what the scene's about. So he can like make his kids do shit. And it's like tiny. It's not like a huge scene or anything like that, but it's like it's funny. Like that is what parents do.
Is anything from this new movie from the writings of like, so I know the guy who wrote kind of wrote the source material for the first movie had more stuff that wasn't in that.
Yeah.
I think he even wrote a sequel. I'm just curious if any of this is from his writing or if it's just like an original.
So I can't say for certain. I want to say it's like an original thing, but I can't give too much away.
I think you're right, but okay, fair enough. Don't want to spoil that.
If you're actually gonna watch it, like, I don't want to spoil the Christmas Story 39 years later sequel for you.
I appreciate it.
But like they tie it in at least to say that. I probably gave it, I don't know, but
he starts writing.
I mean, he likes to write in the first movie. Like he writes that report. I actually love that scene in the first movie when he's writing the report about the Red Ryder BB gun, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm fucking nailing this shit. This is a great report." And it's just like it's not like very eloquent or anything like that. It's just like a standard, like he's like, I want this. I think it is a good gift. I do not think a football is a good gift. Like it's actually quite bad writing. But he's like fucking going, yeah, it's great. I love that shit. This cracks me up. Yeah, I don't know. Watch it.
How close did they guess what this kid's voice was going to be like 30 years ago?
Well, Ralphie is doing his best impression of the guy's voice. So.
Oh, he is? That's weird.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing to do. They should have just been like, do your voice. No one's going to care about that part of it.
Yeah. Like I said, the narration
brought it up. So.
But like I said, the narration's kind of annoying. Like I feel like it was maybe compressed too hard, and so it's like just really really present. It's the narration was my least favorite part of the whole movie, in all honesty.
Okay. Which is funny because I feel like that was the funniest part of the original movie.
Was the narration?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the narration was so more verbose and like
And
able to
most,
articulate.
that's where most of the jokes were occurring.
Yes. So that like the narration could sort of put a perspective on like what you're watching like as an adult, which kind of gives you the opportunity to like, cause like, you know, he would be, his prose was quite funny. And like what was happening in the movie was good too, but like sometimes in the original movie, like the joke was, you know, the more eloquent explanation of what this kid is going through right now.
Or an adult's perspective on like a kid's behavior too.
Yeah, exactly. So since the new movie, like it's an adult's perspective on an adult's behavior, it's just sort of like more standard so it's not as important because you get to see like an adult interacting with adults a lot of the time.
It's more like an inner monologue now.
It's more of an inner monologue. It still serves the same function of like kind of explaining backstory, getting lore out of the way, things like that, like in the original movie, but it's, you know, it's less of an enjoyable. I just didn't enjoy it as much. Like it serves its purpose, but I was like, man, this fucking narration is a lot sometimes, just in terms of how it sounded, honestly, like just ear wise. Like I think the narration was fine. I don't know, but like here, like I think the way it was like compressed or something like that, honestly, bugged me the most. I was just like, man,
literally
like,
the quality of it is kind of what sucked.
Sort of, yeah. Like it was like when he talks, it's like a wall of noise, sort of approach
That's a bummer.
to
Like what a dumb mistake to make, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
oh, well.
Yeah. Like it could be all in my head.
Expecting that to be your biggest complaint about.
I know. Yeah. Like it doesn't need to exist as a movie, and like there's like scenes where I'm like, I don't care about this scene. Like there's one scene that I can think of where I'm like, I don't care about this. This is whatever.
Yeah, I imagine there's gonna be. I'm surprised there's only one. You know, I feel like that's a compliment.
I really thought I'd be cringing all the way, like, you know, like a goddamn Christmas song, cringing all the way, ha ha ha. But no, I did not cringe. I laughed.
Is that a nervous laugh in that cringing all the way song?
Yes, exactly. But yeah, yeah.
Maybe I'll watch it. Maybe I still won't. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
If you don't, I won't blame you. It'll be around, I'm sure. You can probably catch it on HBO next year, if HBO still exists.
Oh, I thought they were gonna delete it.
Yeah.
All right,
they
the movie's
might.
Gone forever now. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, you guys didn't watch it fast enough. Sorry, we had to write this off on our taxes.
How's your Curious Case coming along?
You know, not as fast as I'm sure yours is.
I started going towards the goal for some reason, and now that it's almost done, I'm like, why did I do this? But other than that, yeah, it's coming along.
What does that mean?
No, nothing like just I don't know. I'm not sure. It's funny in any way.
Okay.
Weird, but I guess that's fair for a Curious Case.
You know, yeah.
Went and drew a weird thing. So I did.
You drew a weird thing. I mean, isn't that we want to get outside the box on our rock paper pencils? If we're drawing the shit people are gonna expect.
That's a great point. That's a really great point you just made.
Damn right. You dang right. Trying to think of anything else. Have we talked? Are we done being friends? Like, have we talked about everything? Like, we've talked about it all. Like,
we've reached the end of conversation.
Yeah, we've reached the end.
100%ed it.
Like, if you were to start talking to me again, I'd be like one of those NPCs in a RPG, and I'd just start from the beginning of my dialogue.
Yeah, it'd be like the end of like Seinfeld or something, where I think the last conversation they have on the show is also
like the very first one. Yeah. Good show. Good show, Seinfeld. How do you feel about the ending of Seinfeld?
You know, not that great, but also like, what do you do? What's the right answer?
Right. I think saying is just like that's all the answer I need.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm not like personally offended. I don't think I've seen worse endings to a show.
Oh, for sure, for
It's kind
sure.
of like, just kind of like doesn't quite meet the quality of the rest of the show. But
It's not ending on a bang
it's
or
nothing
anything like
special.
that. Yeah.
Nothing special, but it's also not like an ending that ruined the rest of the show for me, like some things.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't. It
It's
definitely
like,
doesn't
alright,
ruin the
it's
show, which
over.
I think is the
Kind of
most
anticlimactic, kind of weird.
Yeah.
Weird way to focus the energy, I think.
Yeah, here's it. Like, I think what a lot of people didn't like about it is that it's very cute, and that like they get they're about to go to jail, which is not cute, obviously. But then like we get to run through all of like the running. It's like a big. It's almost like clip show.
Reunion.
Yeah, it's like clip show adjacent.
Yeah, it basically is.
Of an ending, because it's just running through like all the running jokes and like the judge's name is Arthur Vanderlei. Whoa, who could have seen that coming?
Seinfeld loved their clip shows, but you have to realize that this was in a time frame when you couldn't just go watch the episode you wanted to go watch. Like,
Yeah.
you couldn't just, I want to see this one. Boop, put it on, like go to Hulu and put it on. So like
Yeah.
I think clip shows make more sense in that time because you're like,
They sure did,
I got
yeah.
to relive that thing that's I thought was so funny
YouTube
that I
wasn't
never get
there
to see.
compiling like all those moments
Right.
together.
So it makes a little more sense to do that then, and now it just feels boring.
It's like what the fuck
Like-
you guys?
Like, I've seen this one. I can go watch that one right now. Like, give me something different.
We just got to our third clip show episode of Friends. It's like season 8. And they did like a clip show episode like season 3, I want to say. They did one season 6. Now they're doing another one like season 8. It's like, God. But every time you get like, you're just like, okay, fine, get me through this episode, because there's little bits in between. And then you laugh at the clips.
As a
You
kid,
always-
I liked those episodes back, before there was YouTube and stuff. I remember like the clips episodes of all these shows airing, and I enjoyed them. I mean, granted, I was a child, but still, I think most people enjoyed them at the time. Once again, because of how things were different.
Yeah.
But
Anybody
but
who
it
is watching
it
us-
feels like a waste of time now.
Anybody watching us just saw me fail at drinking water.
You have a drinking problem.
I have a drinking problem, spilled all over myself. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
Oh,
I felt like
alright.
it had to be addressed that I just completely like rolled a 1 on drinking.
You had to call yourself out before somebody else got there first. I
Mhm.
understand.
If
Very
I
real
just tried to
thing.
breeze by it, like people would be like, "Look at this fucking dick."
This guy's an asshole.
um,
Unsubscribe.
unsub. Extra attack says, anyone want to send me $20 so I can justify buying a game that I definitely don't need? Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition for Xbox Series S. I already have it with all the DLC on PS4, so I have absolutely no reason to have it here, but also next gen. Ooh, Pog.
Ooh.
Also,
Is it
it's always
anyway
sunny.
like remastered or anything?
If it's next gen, I have to assume it's got some extra bells and whistles.
I mean, okay, I didn't know if it was a next gen version of it, or you just wanted to buy it on another console.
oh, that could be the case too. I have no idea. Also, It's Always Sunny has the best clip show episode ever. That is a great clip show episode.
Yeah,
Because it's like it's not
'Cause
a
they're
clip
all-
show
they're all
episode
fake clips,
almost.
right?
Yeah. Also,
I
I
think
mean,
Community did that too.
Community did that. So did the Clerks TV show, the Clerks cartoon. That had a great clip show because the Clerks cartoon had a clip show episode on episode 6, but it was actually the second episode of the TV show to air because like they just got fucked over by the network so hard. So like the second episode of Clerks, they get locked in like a freezer and have a clip show episode, but it's like they also keep cutting to the same clip, which is them pretending to scale a building, but then it turns out they're just holding rope, and so it's like. It's a clip show episode just like showing the same like clip over and over again, essentially. It's actually really funny. The Clerks cartoon was of the
I
two
remember
episodes I've
liking the
seen.
show, but I haven't watched it in a long time. There's not a whole lot of it, right? It's a short run.
There was 6 episodes, and I think 4 of them ever actually got made.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. It's like something really funky like that.
Or aired? Or what do
No,
you mean
like
by
got
that?
made. Like
Oh wow. Okay.
they have like animatics, I think, for like 2 of the episodes that they just like
Oh, I
got
see what you're
canceled
saying.
before. Yeah. Extra Attack says it's just optimized for next gen. It's not like a remaster or anything. Um, hmm. I don't know what to tell you about that, man. You're just throwing money away, maybe. Like you're giving that to
Did
Square.
the other version feel
Squeenix.
unoptimized? Because even if your computer's more powerful, if your previous one ran smooth, then what's gonna change there?
Come on, pal.
Ian, have you played anything lately?
I played a lot of Vampire Survivors.
Oh right, that's right. You told me about that. You had a 9-hour car ride for Christmas.
I don't know.
That's the gift you were given.
It's a 13-hour car ride.
Oh my god. Well, then I technically wasn't wrong. You just had more after that.
Yes. And then I did another one of those on the way back. But yeah. The only justification would be using someone else's money. I'm sorry, I would totally send you $20, but I can't even pay attention.
No.
Yeah,
Wait, can you explain that to me?
So it's like a double. It's like the word can mean pay, like with money. I'll send you an email. But you look like you're struggling. But do you need to take a moment, buddy?
I get it.
Ah!
I tried to use my soundboard to make it laugh, but it didn't work. Never mind. Forget it. Forget it, everybody.
Forget it. It's stupid.
I hate everything.
It's fucking dumb. Yeah, I played a lot of Vampire Survivors, not just on that car ride. I also tinkered with a little before that too. Oh.
Are you okay, Ian? Ian. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm good.
You got it perfectly.
So, anyways, so yeah, I've been playing some Vampire Survivors on my phone. and it's good. I've unlocked most of the game. I think I have 7 things left to let me just look real quick on my phone here.
Do you have like a guide?
Yeah, you have an unlock screen that tells you what you need to do to unlock
sure.
more of the game. 1 second, it's loading. But I love it.
And Den says we played recently with Beach. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'll talk about that.
No, go ahead. I'm still loading the game.
We were playing Raft right before the stream. Right before DrawBomb. We were rafting. Me, Leviathan, Den, and Lizeze.
Rafting and crafting.
Started with a square, and then we ended with a bigger square.
Whoa.
Things are good.
That's
I
crazy.
like that game. I want to like get far in it one day. It's the thing I want to do. So if you everyone join Ian.
We've made some good progress in that game in the past, and we've just never.
We need to commit to a save.
We need to commit to a save. We need to get Matty F to play with us. I know his schedule is always.
I think that's the issue. I mean,
yeah,
I'd love to play with that boy, but hard to get him. He's a hard get.
He's a hard person to get in contact with. But yeah, that's a game we did most of that game, but that was before they released.
They've added a ton.
Yeah, like that was before the content patch where they're like, oh yeah, well, this is the game now. It's actually the game.
Yeah.
So
we were playing early access. I think it's out
very early. Yeah.
Like it had just came out, and they were like, we are now added
the story.
Shark.
Oh, that shark was there since day 1. I can say that for a certainty.
That's true.
But yeah.
How's your drawing coming along?
I wanted to add more curiosity to this case, but I gotta
be way more curious.
I'm just taking too much time on it. I gotta turn something in. So. That's all I can really say at this point here.
Fair enough. I'm just adding some flourishes.
Whoa, we're on the flourish stage already with this guy. You get a lot of this foul here, you little doing flourishes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vampire Survivors. Oh yeah, I had it pulled open. Did I already say how many? I have 9 more unlocks. No, actually.
That's not many.
Yeah, 9.
Are you gonna get the DLC after? Oh wait, they don't have that on the phone.
I'm not sure if they have it for the phone. If they do, though, I'm definitely happy to throw the dev a few bones, because the reason I played it on the phone is because it's absolutely free on the phone. You just have to watch like.
I think it's only like $3 on the computer, but I do have it and the DLC. So if you want to play it, feel free to family share that.
Oh yeah, well, that's a game I wouldn't mind. I mean, $3. Like I wouldn't mind just.
Sure.
But I've also now beaten almost the entire game on my phone, so it's like.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll go back to it.
Yeah, maybe in a little while if I need a game to. It's a good mindless, like game. Like if you have something on the other screen that you're watching. It's like.
I found it's really good for if I'm in bed and I'm trying to fall asleep and I can't fall asleep. I'll start playing it and it just makes me very tired. Not like in a bad way, but it's just something about like how I think like simple it is and like.
It's a game.
Hypnotic. Yeah,
it's very hypnotic. It's a good game for luring you or lulling you into like a sort of sense of comfort, because you start off a round. It's 30 minutes. You start off a round and like you're pretty weak. You gotta scrounge around. You gotta dodge. You gotta kind of like do a bullet hell type game for a little bit just to like not die. And then after a certain point, your guy's just shooting fucking rockets out of his asshole every 2 seconds, so you can just sort of chill and just like sit there and like just collect orbs. So after a while,
any of those kind of roguelike games where you're just like collecting things, there's certain playthroughs where you're like, all right, I won now. Now I just get to hang out.
Yeah, exactly.
I had that in Binding of Isaac. Every once in a while, I'd like just roll a really, really good round, and I'm like, okay, I'm invincible now. I will win.
Yeah, for sure. Like when you've hit that like magic, and sometimes you find out like. What the nice thing about Vampire Survivors is like. You can't like in Binding of Isaac, it's very RNG based, but in Vampire Survivors, there is strategy involved, and they give you like tools to unlock as it goes on to sort of like really fine tune your playstyle. So that, like for instance, one of the unlocks you get by surviving for a full minute after the timer is up, because in that game, once the 30-minute timer is up, fucking a Grim Reaper comes and just obliterates you in a second. But if you have the shield item and the freeze laser item, you both survive the initial attack from Mr. Death, and because he's right on top of you, your laser freezes him. So then you just kind of keep on freezing him and like avoiding him with your shield until like you can stay alive without even like. It's honestly hard to die at that point. I've survived like 6 minutes after the timer hit 30 minutes because of that combo. And so like some of the unlocks are surviving for like an extra minute past that timer, but like I never have like the problem at that point isn't like, oh, how do I get this loadout, because I can get myself that loadout soon enough. It's like, gotta survive now until that point. But yeah, like there are different loadouts that just work really well. I don't know, it's just a great game. It's just the gameplay is pretty much like spot on for like the game type that it is, especially considering it invented the genre. It's kind of like after Vampire Survivors came out, it was immediate. There's just a million games that are replicating that gameplay style. And it's interesting because it's kind of like seeing Souls-like come out after Dark Souls, because I mean after Dark Souls, it's why it's called a Souls-like. But when you see a game that is a Souls-like, and then you see it like play, like it could look really cool, it could have cool environments and cool characters, but like the moment you see that combat, you can tell like, damn, like Dark Souls and like FromSoft, they just nailed it so much. Like
they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, it's like seeing other games try and do a Souls-like always feels like a sad, pale comparison, just because Dark Souls just crushed it so hard.
They know the priorities. I think they know the things that are like more important.
They knew where to focus.
Yeah.
So yeah, seeing Vampire Survivor likes, and then playing Vampire Survivor. Yeah, Vampire Survivor just fucking crushed it.
Yeah, it's true.
And Vampire Survivor is also, it's got like such a fun, it's like, you know, it's got like a promo art that's like a cool drawing of a Dracula. Yeah. But like the sprites are all like basically rips from Castlevania, or they're like damn near. If they weren't before, they're like very close. They're on very purpose.
Inspired by it.
Yeah. But, and on top of that, like the game, like there's a level that takes place in a dairy plant, and there's milk ghosts, and there's like an enemy that's just a witch riding a guitar. You can play as a dog. You can play as a panda. You can, you know.
It's a pretty lighthearted game.
Yeah, there's like fun packed into it, so it's like not taking itself seriously without seeming like it never feels like it's going over the top with it either, though. There's like some games that are just like quirky out the ass, and I'm like, all right, guys, calm down. It like straddles it just right where it's like it's something's fun and like goofy here and there enough times where it's still a treat to see. It's not like rote. It's not overdone. And I enjoy that. I respect that. They've really threaded that needle quite nicely, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Extra Attack says, the second I see that combat style, I immediately know, okay, I'm not playing this difficult shit. Yeah, I haven't really given time to many Souls-likes. I loved Elden Ring. I tried Dark Souls, but it wore me down. I'm not saying I won't ever play it, but I don't know. I don't know if I have the patience for how unforgiving the spawn, the checkpoints are in the original Dark Souls. I don't know if I have it in me.
You gotta do a lot of running.
I can't run across the entire map to fight a boss, to just learn how to fight him, and it takes like a half an hour to get to him. I don't want that.
There is a fair amount of that, I'm not gonna lie.
Elden Ring's a bit more forgiving. I've been playing some Bloodborne, not in a little while, but that one's a little more forgiving too. You still have to travel a little bit, but not quite nearly as much. You know,
right.
I think some people like the unforgiving, but I personally think it's a little better designed to have somewhat closer checkpoints.
I think Elden Ring,
I never want to feel like my time is being wasted in a game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Elden Ring simplified that process for a reason, and that's because it's clearly the better way to handle. Like they found the balance. I will say that Dark Souls is worth it, but yeah, you will be doing some fucking backtracking in that game. It's quite frustrating.
I like difficulty, and I like the satisfaction of overcoming the difficulty, but I don't like feeling like instead of content, they are spreading out the hours by just making it like time wasty or like really overly hard, if that makes sense. Like,
no, I understand.
There's a difference between hard and there's a difference between this, like, you're going to have to redo the same thing 300 times because we just made it so.
Right.
Kind of reminds me of like old NES games where it was just like, you have 3 lives to try to beat this whole game. And you're like, the fuck? And they're like, takes an average person 100 hours to beat it. Look, we made a 100-hour game. And it's like, no. Yeah. You made a 10. I'm not saying Dark Souls is short.
No, I know.
But doesn't feel like my time is being respected as much in that game as some of the others.
I would argue that in Dark Souls, a lot of the fun can come from that system, though.
I could see that.
Because I've had some situation, because the Estus system is handled differently than it's like still the Estus system in Elden Ring, but like if you kill like certain groups of enemies or you kill like certain enemies, like you get a refill. And that lets you like run for longer without having to like respawn the enemies and things like that. Whereas in Dark Souls, it's like your Estus is your Estus. When you run out of heals, like you either need to like finish that level or you need to go back to a bonfire and like start the run again. Which it kind of gives the game almost like a roguelike sort of sense to it. Like
that's fair.
You're doing like a little 3D roguelike thing, but what I will also say is I've had a couple of scenarios where I was carrying like a huge amount of souls, and then like I traversed into an area that was new and fresh, and I wasn't quite sure of the layout, and then I've died, and then like I'll get on my bonfire and be like, all right, this is the journey now. The journey is get my fucking souls back. And that was like a fun, you know, quote unquote story for me in the game, was
That makes
like
sense.
that journey. So like I will like in Dark Souls it can feel time wasty at times, but I think there is, because of the way the gameplay is structured, you will get sort of those fun experiences still out of that sort of tracking system, as long as you're still like overall maintaining a good, you know, rate of progression. Like if you're not having a frustrating time, I think it's worth it. I think it's totally worth it though, just because of how fucking amazing that game is.
Yeah, I mean, what you're saying makes sense, and also I guess you got to remember that just traversing, you level up while you're doing that, so you're slowly like kind of making the game easier every time you attempt to get to a place. So you're gonna get it eventually, one way or the other, whether it's by skill or by just like grinding.
Yeah, absolutely. You can always be making progress in that game. And yeah, it's got like the progression. It's interesting because the way Elden Ring translates the progression system in that game is so good. Just to talk good about Elden Ring again just a little bit more, but fuck, man, like it's so many open world games, like just off the top of my head, just like thinking about the Elder Scrolls games as open world games, you'll start out in this huge map and our connection dropped or whatever. I don't know why it does that. Yeah. But anyways, you start out in this big open world in like an Elder Scrolls game. And then like you're like, if you decide you're gonna run to like this one town that's over here, you can, in Oblivion's case, just fast travel there and you're good to go. Or in like Skyrim's case, you can travel there and you'll probably make it. Like you'll probably make the trip over there, you know? And like that's fine. That's one way of doing an open world map. But like in Elden Ring, if you see like a location over there, like you might not make the journey. Like you might.
Yeah. I like that.
And so like it makes the open world, like the open world for all I know in Elden Ring could be tiny in comparison to like Skyrim, but it feels so much larger because getting from one place to another is like it's that's part of the game, is like being able, like I wouldn't say that in Elder Scrolls going from like Anchorhead or whatever the hell the name of that one port town is to like Skyrim or whatever. I guess Skyrim's the whole... Going from one city to another in Skyrim is not like the game. But in Elden Ring, like getting from one part of the map to the other, that's you know, that's the game. Like you're going to have a hard time. And I appreciate that aspect, that approach to the open world so much more, because like when you go from like one city to another in Skyrim, you know, you're just like, okay, here we are. Cool, look at that. This is what this place looks like. But in Elden Ring, it's an accomplishment to like be somewhere new, and that's such a cool approach. I love it. Elden Ring's a good game, folks. Fucking play it and buy it and support the developers.
Yeah, that was my favorite game of that year. Or that was last year, right?
Yeah, it was last year now. Yeah.
That was my favorite game.
Yeah.
It's good.
Fucking great.
They made me reconsider Souls games, so that's something.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, you were like, these are not going to be the games for me. It would be cool to do a DrawBomb plays getting you through Dark Souls.
We could try. I don't think multiplayer works anymore. I think they took it down.
I believe they killed it in a recent update. They're like, hey guys, thanks for supporting us. Like multiplayer's dead.
Bugged or something. It was like somehow people were like hacking it and using it for like horrible shit. So
I think you have to do like fucking Hamachi or some shit now to like screw that.
I swore to never use that again.
Yeah, same.
I'll die before I Hamachi.
I'm done with my case. I don't know if you're ready, but I'm done with it.
I will be done in 3 seconds. I just started adding something new just to kind of because I was done for a second. How do you feel about your take?
I feel like it could be curiouser. It's curious, but it could be more curious.
Mine's weird.
All right, you ready?
Sure. Go ahead and reveal that, baby. Look at yours. That's pretty curious. That'd probably get flagged by the TSA. Or maybe
sure.
that's one you just let it go, and you're like, I don't want to open that.
The human skin on it.
I feel
really-
like whoever brought that to the airport wants me to open it. And I
Yeah.
don't want to give them the satisfaction.
All right, Ashton Kutcher, get on through the line.
You can take your weird ass case.
I don't want to fucking touch that shit.
Why is it moist on the outside?
Yeah. What's that about?
I
All
like
these
that.
locks are
Just-
broken.
Does it say Ben underneath the handcuffs or?
B butt, you know?
Oh, B butt. Got
Or
it.
Ben butt, yeah, I guess because there's a lot of space left over on that. Yeah, Ben butt.
I like it.
Yeah, I
don't know
like
why
yours.
My case needed to explain that he ages normally.
He took a big shit like a few steps back. It's just dropping trow
Somebody
and
did.
leaving
Maybe it was
steamers.
maybe it was in the case. Who knows?
True. I like
You
the
know,
dog.
This drawing tells a story. That was the part that I just added at the last second.
I figured I saw you finishing it up as I unhid your things. I like your case. It's funny.
Thanks.
It's
You know,
fresh.
you made a good case as well.
I went more literal. I made a very strange case. I mean, you made a case all the same, but you know, you took yours in a.
We
More
both made a
abstract.
good case.
You made a Muppet. Let's just
I did.
call it like we see it.
I mean, that was kind of what I was going for.
Give him a monobrow and everything.
Well, that's that, I think.
Well, that's it.
Let me save this baby. It does look like it is 10 o'clock.
Oh boy. We were right on schedule this particular episode, I would say.
Yeah, that never happens.
That
I mean, we
never
were
does.
maybe like 10 minutes late getting started, but that's all right.
True. So I mean, you know, but still overall.
Boy, this New Year's gonna be different. I'm sure. I'm sure.
We're gonna really this will be great.
You know, in a few months, I'll have a different background behind me. That's gonna be wild.
That's
I think
true.
That's gonna be big for the channel.
We'll hopefully have a couple more cartoons out by that
Yes.
point.
Yes, I'm excited. I've got to figure out how to fix the puppets, unless you already figured that out. I wasn't able
haven't-
to get it working.
I just haven't even given it a shot yet. Maybe it's something we could do at some point. I'll do it like
Yeah.
right when we sign off or something.
Sure. I would like to get it solved sometime soon.
For sure. I mean, yeah, we gotta.
Mm-hmm.
Can't dilly anymore on that dally. But anyways, Brandon. Did I press the right button? Yeah, I think. Yeah, Brandon.
Yes, Ian.
I think I made that transition go way too long. Do you have anything you'd like to plug?
I don't, but one of my New Year's resolutions is I'm gonna have more things to plug this year.
That's a good
gonna plug
resolution
things.
to have.
I'm gonna plug so many things soon, but not yet.
Happy Draw Butt. Thank you very much, Extra Attack. They also say let's do another improv, which that's definitely what we want to do. Is we want to get more.
Yeah, that is in the plans this year. We're gonna try to do more than one more. You know, we're gonna try to. I enjoyed that so much, and I still watch it. Amongst other things we've done that similar fashion, and I want to do more of that because
Yeah.
it was really fun and satisfying. I'm really proud of it.
So I'm excited to get that underway.
Yeah.
We're gonna make a concerted effort to make more of those animations. That's my plug.
Ian,
Brandon.
do you have anything to plug?
That's it. More animations from DrawBomb in the near
Oh, okay.
future.
Cool.
I don't have anything much to. I mean, that book that I'm gonna be in hasn't come out yet. It will soon.
It's being printed right now, right?
Being
From
printed.
what I read.
Yeah, correct. So yeah.
Can't wait to get my dirty mitts on it. I'm gonna.
Can't wait to
rip
be-
that baby open. I'm
Can't
gonna
wait
be
to.
like. That's what I look like when I read.
The fact that you rip the book open means that not a lot of people get to use the book.
I like to
ripping it
destroy
in half.
every page that I read. It's kind of like a power thing. Like I'm the only one that gets to read it. So I read a page, I eat the page, I read the next page.
That's how you read the page,
Page.
is by consuming it.
I consume the book, and I'm like, it's pretty good.
I had the idea. I wanted to do this in a cartoon. Spoiler alert for an eventual cartoon, but I wanted to do it like some like character in like a fantasy thing has like this ability where they pick a book up and they start talking with it like a puppet, and like when they talk like a puppet, like the puppet has the knowledge that the book has inside of it, so like somehow he's like reading the book as he's talking with it like a puppet, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? I figured that'd be a funny thing.
I kind of understand what you're saying.
Like maybe a dumb character picks the book up and starts talking like a book puppet, you know?
Yeah.
But when the actual book, like when he talks like with the book puppet, the book has all of the knowledge. Like it has the information.
So he's able to like make the book speak.
Yes.
What it contains. Got it.
Yeah. I thought that'd be a funny visual gag to do in a thing.
Kind of reminds me of whatever that was, it Page Master. They're just like.
Is that with Kevin McAllister?
Some books. Yeah, and the books are like. They're very much like the style of the story. Like there's like a horror book that looks like a weird like Frankenstein thing.
Of course.
Yeah. Kind of look the part, talk like they're.
You know, I remember the Page Master Sega game or SNES game, whichever it was out for, but I don't remember that movie that well.
I don't remember the movie very well either. I remember some of the like visually some of the things.
Yeah.
But I don't remember really what happens in it.
I remember Rockadoodle more than I remember that movie, but I barely remember Rockadoodle.
The 90s had some weird, like... I'm all for non-Disney, like, people animating, but there's just, like, these weird, like, movies that exist and are well-known, but are just, like, they kind of go off the rails a lot of times during the story.
Yes.
Like the All Dogs Go to Heaven and the We're Backs and with the...
Oh my god, yeah.
They're, like... They're all weird movies.
I remember liking We're Back, like feeling less weird about that one than others, but I also feel like all of those movies were all like riding the coattails of something else, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Page Master was sort of riding the Space Jam sort of thing, as I think Rockadoodle was too.
I think Page Master came out long before Space Jam.
Let's go to the Google.
Let's look that up. But also like, what I was gonna say was like, All Dogs Go to Heaven is just like, it's about like these dogs that are like working for the mafia, and then they die, and then they like get sent back to like befriend orphans, and that's the deal or something. And then We're Back is like these dinosaurs are
brought to the
alien,
current time, right?
And they're fed some like magic cereal that makes them like smart, and then they're sent to the current time to hang out with orphans. I don't know why that's always what these things do. They're just weird ass movies.
They are weird ass movies. And I do feel like they were all... I mean, there was also like The Friendly Little Toaster or The Brave Little Toaster.
Oh yeah, The Brave Little Toaster. That movie's dark, but
I remember.
I think that one's actually good.
I apparently enjoyed it quite a bit as a child.
I watched it a ton. I remember it like pretty vividly. I watched it a lot.
Yeah, I remember it. I don't remember it vividly. Apparently like there was like some other thing called like Timmy the Tooth that I used to watch as a kid. I just remember
I know Timmy the Tooth.
Watching a bunch of stuff as a kid, apparently over and over again. I don't remember any of it that well, except for Space Jam, but that's just because I've watched Space Jam as an adult. Like, I was not retaining stuff as a child. Like, I was not retaining sensory information or experiences for a very long time in my life, apparently, because I just do not remember most of the things before a certain age.
That's fair. Question: did Timmy the Tooth have religious overtones, or was it just fully about dentistry?
I could believe that there was maybe a Christian angle to it. I feel like Timmy turned into a superhero, and it had something to do with the Bible.
Could be. I don't know for sure. Just a lot of weird puppet VHSs that were like very religious and weird in that time.
Yeah, puppets seem to be the big way to sort
puppets tend to love Jesus more than the average. Also, Page Master came out in 94, Space Jam came out in 96.
Came out in 96, yeah. I did see that, so Page Master did come out first. I still think they ripped off Space Jam, though.
They did. They created time travel, and that was the best use they could find for it.
Absolutely.
Let's make a movie.
Let's rip off Space Jam.
But all right. Off Space Jam 2. But on that note,
I'm not a toon.
I think it's time.
think it's time. Let's put this one to bed. Brandon, do you have anything else you want to say before we officially sign off for the night?
Thanks Leviathan Den, Lizeze. Thanks Lizeze for subscribing. Extra Attack RPG. We love you. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week.
Thank you guys for watching. Happy New Year. We're gonna make 2023 the year of the DrawBomb. We're gonna bring more animations, hopefully, and start a production line on those cartoons so we can really bring some fun stuff for you guys in the new year.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't you know? Okay, bye now. See you later.
All right.
Don't get your later holes and caught in the wood chipper, eh? Fargo.
You're mixing so many.